Hello, everyone. This is the weekly review for January 25th to January 29th for the Model United Nations class. We worked on two writing prompts during the week. One was an introductory exercise that considered why there was a need for the United Nations after World War II. We came to the conclusion that after World War II, the countries around the world had made a decision that they wanted to avoid another such conflict that cost so many lives and to try to bring about international and world peace. The other writing prompt that we worked on asked students to unpack the language of the indicators that we'll be working on during Unit 1, which would be developing a position and selecting research methods. We worked on a document called Background of the United States. It was a reading, and you had to use a graphic organizer to write down notes about the various sections, which included basic facts about the UN, the story behind the creation of the UN, how the UN is structured, the UN system and how it functions, what the leadership is like in the UN, and what they've accomplished in the past 75 years or so. Our four-class focus was on perseverance. This was the executive functioning skill we were focusing on this past week. Perseverance is trying even when things are difficult. So students were asked to try to reach down deep and try their best even when some things they were being asked to do were hard. We also read a Common Lit article. We read excerpts from the Charter of the United Nations. The reading included the preamble to the Charter of the UN, as well as a list of purposes and principles of the United Nations. Really reinforced the previous document that we had read to let students know what the UN was all about and what their mission statement was. We worked on analyzing two readings that presented two differing perspectives on the relevancy of the United Nations. We abbreviated them as Think Again and Barely Politics. And then students were asked to list three of the arguments that each author presented to support their claims about the UN's relevancy. Because obviously, one author was focusing on the fact that the UN was still relevant and a viable political body, while the other one was arguing that its relevancy had diminished over the years. Some students began an exercise where they broke down descriptions of various methods of historical inquiry into their own words. I know some students were still working on the formative assessments, but other students had moved forward and began working on the methods of inquiry document. That is something we will continue to work on this week coming up as well. As far as other things that are coming up, we will finish the Develop a Position Level 1 formative, continue an examination of the various methods of historical inquiry, continuing to work on leveled formatives for both indicators we are working on, developing a position, and methods of inquiry. Ultimately, you are going to formulate some sort of argument or position based on whether you believe that the United Nations is still a relevant political body. That's it for now. I will see you folks on Monday. Take care.